Happy Saturday. Welcome to Sports with Mandela. As usual, we start with a quote. Success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life, it's about what you inspire others to do. Once again, happy Saturday. Welcome to Sports with Mandela. As usual, in the studio with me this morning is Mr. Taddy Armdale. Good morning, Taddy.
Well, morning to the of our ardent supporters and viewers, you know what I mean? But not as usual in the studio. Last week we went in the studio.
That's true.
Last week we went in Liberta, which was a nice experience. I tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed last week, that environment and the surroundings and so on. And I'm looking forward to doing the show maybe in Bethesda soon and all over Antigua. Maybe go to Erlin so people can see the beautiful pavilion up there. Take our show on the road. If you noticed last week, there's so many kids around in the Bertha who do the training on Saturday mornings. We had quite a few people there, man. That's my atmosphere I like. And this is what Partnership Network all about. Community-based sports. We go in the community. I'm hoping maybe we can get our good friend Ardy Brown one these Saturdays. So
right.
If we can keep up in Old Road where we're training, we get there. We go to the site early. We can broadcast anywhere. You know that.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
This is what Partnership Network is all about. So, like I said, Thursday we had a funeral of my sister there, which the network did, and everybody, the family was pretty appreciative, you know. So, time goes on. Everybody has the time when they have to go.
I know. It's just want to say my condolences to you and your family. You know, and that is not an easy thing. So just be hungry and be strong. In terms of our show today, we're looking forward to have Mr. Courtney watching us about later in the program.
1.5 an hour there, boy.
Yeah, should be excited interaction with him. Also, we're looking forward to have weeks, maybe next 5 minutes with us, just to see what up with him in England, how's training going, the season going and stuff with him.
But I'm wondering early, you know. I know Courtney should have been here. Courtney should be here. It's on time. They say even half an hour late. It seemed like that's some kind of a reflection of West Indies team.
I hope not. I guess it's something beyond his control. I want to believe. Yeah. You know. But in terms of West Indies cricket, you know, I think we reached an all-time low this week with that game yesterday.
I heard you. But I don't believe that, you know. I'll tell you why. How we last one time many years ago to Kenya or somebody in the World Cup cricket, but not 2020.
Right.
The over business.
I remember that game. I think Richie was the captain.
Exactly, Richie was the captain. I remember that. You know what I mean? What I'm saying to you, 2020, anybody can beat you on the day now. The longer the overs are, right? The longer the overs are, the better team really normally win. The better team. But on the 2020 situation, if you check Scotland and Ireland will play better cricket than us. And I mentioned it to somebody this week. And we say this about it's in the last World Cup when the same coach Simmons and when the guy from Trinidad, the former captain.
From
Trinidad.
Pollard.
After the World Cup, said they should drop the two of them, they fired them. And
right.
Pollard did a good thing. He retired or resigned. That was good. But our team, pay attention.
Yes.
I'm telling you, really reputable, powerful teams. Pay attention. They've got about 2 or 3 or 4 good batsmen.
Sure.
And there were 2 or 3 reliable bowlers, real top-notch bowlers in the world, and we can bowl well. Take a look at the West Indies team. Who can get a real good batsman in the team? They can reliable every match. How the bowler can outstanding bowl every game.
Right.
You know, it's you. You have a powerful team, a real good team that now good about 3 or 4, 6 stars in there. Our players are not that good. That is, I said the last World Cup before this one, you should be training young guys. You get an opportunity to recruit them, blend them so they get the opportunity when this time comes the season. Right. But we went to old Gale and old this and old that and the other. So say captain, the coach use experience. Maybe a pension plan that was. Right. I know it happens now.
Right.
The guys are not ready. But 2020 still, anybody can beat you.
Right.
On the day, you know what I mean? But our guys without no real good players, no real, the captain's supposed to be some super player in IPL. He can't go in early, he might be the captain. Farm one. They just want to fly. They can't go in and say, but you know, check most of the big teams, Williamson batting high, this batting high, play normal cricket shots and play.
Yeah, I saw this morning, I was using in Australia this morning, Wilson came in at number 3. And he batted pretty well. I think he scored 20 out of 20 balls. You know, you get out playing a kind of reverse sweep.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
shot.
That's one he's kind of shot.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you need some of those kind of players. And I saw a Jamaican subs in the comedy guy, you know, and laughing himself. So he said, well, you know, he's saying that we still play the red ball kind of cricket.
Right.
But what he fails to understand, you know, red ball kind of cricket, you had Garden Greenwich.
Right.
You have Viv Richards. You have Clive Line. You have those guys can play the kind of cricket.
Right.
the
quality was way better.
They can play the kind of cricket in the back one. In the back matter.
Right.
They have to reverse, telling another. Those guys, Viv Richards the first man start charge bowlers now.
That's true.
Fast bowlers, everybody know.
Yeah.
He the ones start backward to legs and hit man over comers over 4 6.
Yeah. And go down the half stomach, hit man over backward square with 6 and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying there. I said, what they're doing now is something that the Viv Richards started many years ago. And then guys in Australia, so Greg Chaplin and guys do the kind of little things.
Right.
So this is nothing new.
Right.
It's just that you know how the kind of players implement the kind of. Oh no, the man they can't bat good.
Yeah, definitely.
You check the test team. Our best batsman is Bradfield. Where's the best in terms of consistency?
Right.
But he never dominate no battle, no bowler. You know what I mean? So hey, I hope we never can get there.
I think I see Weeks. Weeks.
Gentlemen, how are you?
My brother, what's up?
Oh, I'm here.
We just talking about some Wesley's cricket here.
Don't you talk about Western? Yesterday. even the skipper texted last night, something. Whether it be chat last night about cricket. We don't want to talk about some cricket.
Okay. So how the season going for you so far up there in the UK?
So again,
how the season for you going so far up in the UK?
The season's over now, and this morning was obviously I'm on half term for the next 2 weeks. So this morning was we got the fast bowlers in and the spinners in this morning just for the session. Working some isometric things, trying to get the guys to bowl quicker, especially the seniors. They've got good skill set, but just trying to really a little bit more out of the seam bowlers as we speak. So yeah, this morning was a 2-hour session about some gym work and some gym ball work, some waiting ball work, just to try and get them to bowl a little bit faster.
I want to ask one question. Can you say working the seam bowlers and fast bowlers? Anyone in the West Indies now can get some to play West Indies team?
I've got some county bowlers in the school. I've got a few guys from Notts and one from Yorkshire who's got general potential, but obviously they go down the future at the moment. They're only 17 and 18 years old, so they have a long way to go. They're academic guys, so I'm not quite sure cricket's going to be the way of life for them. The internal medicine and that other stuff, but they love the cricket. So, yeah, it's a decent one, it's a really good one.
Well, like you observed, that's why you observe we need some bowlers we need some bowlers fast, so real fast bowlers who can bowl the ball.
Complete team time, you know, both batsmen around, coach. What I'm seeing for the last 3 days, embarrassing.
Well, not only fast, but we need some batsmen too, which I just said. We need some batsmen real fast, productive guys, not this 20, 30 and out there and everybody say do well. You want some guys to get back?
I watched the game yesterday. I don't really watch Western cricket because I'm too frustrated to watch it. I watched the last 2 games, and the fascinating thing for me is that all these franchise players they're playing around the world in these big franchise tournaments, they clearly haven't learned anything. When you come back to the national team, and he hasn't got no experience that we learn in the Big Bash or the IPL, but whenever you played franchise cricket. You clearly haven't learned. You look at the other game this morning I watched on the Big Talk with Josh Hazelwood. He's the only seen ball in the top 10 of the T20 ICC ranking. But he's been the Chennai Super Kings with Dhoni, and he's been with Stephen Fleming, and he's come back and he's learned his skill and he's brought something back to the Australian team. I'm not quite sure our boys have brought anything back to the rest of his team. I don't know what your thoughts about it.
When you're saying Josh Hazelwood #1 T20 bowler right now, we're playing for Australia, he's still on top of his game.
Yeah.
Where all guys seem like they go to this tournament and bring back anything to the table. But I must say, in our fair, this guy Azar Joseph is up and improved to me. You know, before times we realized that place.
To be honest with you, it's very relevant to say, he has been the only shining light.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, he stepped in the game big time. Had a good CPL. Not only bowling quick, but he bowling smart now. Bowling the Yorker and stuff like that. I've been one of his critics, and I've always said that this guy has a lot of potential, but until he understands what the body does as being a fast bowler, right,
and improve his skill sets. And what I've seen these last 2 days, not only got genuine pace, he has variation, which is at his game, which is quite good.
Right.
They bowl genuine Yorkers, they bowl really hard lines, and out of the last 2 days, he's probably the only person who I said deserves to be paid.
It's true.
Well, like you observe, he's the only one that we can say made some improvement over the years. And that we observe that. But you can't say about the batsmen, you can't say about the other bowlers. I don't understand, man. This team is just like a joke team.
Just too ordinary.
Ordinary team, man.
International stage.
And coming against Scotland and Ireland. But those guys are like they're better trained, better coach. I don't know what to say about it. Okay. Look how Ireland humiliate us. One wicket.
In my experience, watching the game yesterday, it clearly states that these guys don't play scenarios. There's no scenarios in the head. Right. They're going to play one way, and they're just going to play one way. And look at some of the shots yesterday from the captain. I don't understand why the open batting with Kyle Myers. I don't really get the thought behind that. Everybody's coming and just playing the same way. Nobody's trying to knock the ball around and try and hit the ball in the gaps, looking for runs and twos. Everybody's playing the same way. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
6 looking for weeks. 6 and 4s, no singles and 2s. Yeah, they're playing in the cricket shot, man.
Big ground, 75-meter boundary.
Yeah.
If you look yesterday, the ground was an odd side. You had 85 yards on one side and 65 yards on the other side. And we got clueless cricketers hitting the ball in the air to the big side of the boundary.
Where can you push the ball on for 1s and 2s and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's 3. Hit the ball, there's 3.
Yeah.
If there's 8, you can see there's 3.
Yeah, and play back and play 7 in first and then start with the big shot.
I don't want to use the word clueless cricketers. And a mouse headless.
Clueless.
I'm saying, Big C.
This morning, somebody see.
Big C.
Yeah.
I wanted that doesn't come down to the coaching. I wanted that doesn't come down to the coaching.
It's down to the coaching. It's down to the coaching, because if you're telling me that your top 5 batsmen are all getting out the same way, playing the same sort of shots, it's down to the coaching. It's down to the philosophy. It's down to the team ethos, how we're going to play. There's clearly no philosophy. There's clearly no care. A lot of words you can use. There's no care. I mean, some of the shots yesterday was some of those shots my under 13s might play. But as men playing for your country yesterday or the last 2 days have been absolutely horrendous to watch. My phone never stopped. I use the word abuse. It's banter. people are telling their wrestling cricket and wrestling's going home and this part of I'm thinking like, just take your licks. Take your licks, you know. I can't even revert back to the glory days. That's 25 years ago.
That's our present day.
So I keep my mouth shut and take my licks. But it's for me, as a wrestling, as a cricket man, watching that yesterday and watching the last two has been very, very painful.
True.
Very painful.
But the thing that bother me though, these guys have the analysts there in the back room as backroom staff. And why did those guys don't go back and view the footage and stuff like that and see how they play the shot in the previous game so they can improve and stuff like that? What the analyst does and what they do with the footage.
They're just probably just really good because, like for instance, we talk. I coach in a school now. I don't coach at county level anymore because I work in a private school.
Right.
But whatever we do, pre-game, right? Everybody's gonna buy into it. So let's give you an example. We're playing a 2020 game, and I would say the first 5 overs we want to go at 8 and over. We want to go at 7 and over. We want to be 60 for 1 at the 5 over mark. No more than 1. It doesn't mean we're going to go hard, you know. We can get 64 or 5 overs hitting the ball into the gaps and going out.
Right.
Put the field under pressure. What I see is just a team of batsmen who are just boundary hitters. They're boundary hitters. They're just boundary hitters. And any decent bowling attack will just set the field and put the pressure on, and they'll just succumb to the pressure because they're not keen on hitting the down the gaps. They're not keen on dropping over it. They're not keen on doing the fielding. There's nobody in the 30-yard circle and you go 1, the field will come in. And you play the game. You play the situation, you play the scenario. What I'm seeing yesterday, unless they're hitting boundaries, nobody cares about singles, nobody cares about twos, nobody cares about threes. So I'm afraid that's the situation we find ourselves in.
Well, I would say, Weeks, you're so correct. But that has been going on for the longest while now, for years. That's the way they pick players now, just to hit 6 and 4s. Then they pick the batsmen who can maneuver the field and get singles and 2s and 3s and run hard. And like you observe, Australia fields are very big fields. They're not no small fields. So you can run 2 and 3 runs easily almost all the time. And like I said, bring in the field, you know what I mean? And then they can go over the top. But all guys, the guys we pick, man, you know?
I know what you say about the coach that will show some blame. The coach that will show some blame. Because you can't tell me the coach is standing back and watching players play that way. The Zimbabwe game, we're lucky to win that. Alzari Jones bailed us out. This Ireland game, we just, I wouldn't say Ireland was a fantastic bowling attack, but we just get caught up in boundary, hitting the ball to the big side of the ground. I mean, I just couldn't get it at it.
What I love to see is the structure of the practice session with these guys back, because if you watch them West Indies, they always get a flying start, but in the middle they lose their way because when the spinners come on. So like for me, if I was the coach, I always have a net session with the middle batsman and with the spinners coming on and say, hey guys, today we go bowl 5 over spin. I want you at least score 30 runs, you know, without any big shots and stuff like that.
You look at the first dismissal. Okay, not Carolina. Look at Johnson Charles dismissal. After that delivery, he took 10. He did 6 into 4. Okay, it was a ball up bounce a little bit. But he got out caught in the ring on the offside. He just took 10 off the previous 2 balls.
Right.
He just took 10 off the previous 2 balls.
So you could easily turn the ball. For a single up right down.
You can put that ball late to the guy backward square.
Right.
You know, you can do whatever you want with the ball. You pick the only man on the offside. Straight to him. That's brainless. You took 10 of the previous 2 balls.
So maybe you come down to cricket smart.
Oh, look at the cricket brain.
Right.
It's good to see. Look at the cricket brain. They're not a cricket brain. You just mentioned the word scenario.
Right.
You just took 10 out 2 balls. The next ball, now you're doing 1, or you've got to be very careful. I don't get out here, try to put pressure on the ball again. You've already squeezed the ball about taking 10.
I think Wesley.
The next ball you bowl.
I think Wesley. I think Wesley need a coach like Taddy Arundel. You know, in the days of fact, you remember we come here, we could try to play a shot. You ask us how much you try to score in that shot, and you say I try to look a single. You're looking at a single and leave a crease. You're batting done. Okay, like you have stars ahead. If you come down a crease, you're supposed to hit the ball out the top part.
You're looking for a single. You're coming down the track.
Right.
So basically, what you're telling me there, you're not thinking about it.
Exactly.
The risk you're taking for a single is not worth it.
Exactly.
You know? and I still think, and I said in the last show, I still think a lot of these players are not playing for their country.
Right.
They're using these tournaments as shop windows for the lucrative contracts around the world.
So basically, they're marketing themselves then.
They're marketing themselves. It's a shop window. A lot of them now will go back home after losing against two mediocre teams, and they don't really care. They got paid. They've gone back home. You know what? I got a few runs. I think I played well. Agents on the phone start ringing around IPL, CPL, Big Bash. You know, they're not hating like we are. The general wrestling is kind of like I am, you are, and Taddy is hurting inside watching that. The players have no passion. There's no passion in the players. I don't know what Taddy thinks, but I don't see any passion there. Like I said, apart from Alzar reserve this last 2 days, I don't see anybody there with no passion and no real fight.
What has happened I find as well to the team like is just too easy to make. You just pick them and they get on the team easily. They work hard to get there. You know what I mean?
I tell you, Charlie, at 51-year-old, I can get the boost back out. At 51-year-old, I get the boost back out. Because every time I meet up with anybody from the Caribbean or Montserrat or whatever, they always say, oh, we play for the West Indies. They always say, well, now you're breaking it. I said, well, we're going to win. But I know the West Indies team, when I was around, you couldn't get it. You're not walking in a team. So I said, you're disrespectful because I was in the queue behind some of the world's best. Kenny, Winston, Hamish Anthony, Andrews, Elvin Baptiste. That's only, I named 5 here from one island.
Sure.
You know, I tell you, I'm 51 years old now. I can hold me on that team.
I like that one. I like that.
I can hold me on that team. I'm telling you, I'm 51 years old, I can hold me on that team. I can still run them ball 9 and length and control and ball one side to the wicket. I can still catch and field, or I can bat. So I'm 3-dimensional. So I think I can hold me on that team because I don't know. I'm just frustrated like everybody else.
That is starting about the team as well, man. You think at your age you can still do a better job.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the body might not be up to it, but the brain is still working on it. The brain's working. You can't tell me it's that difficult to bowl one side of the wicket and set your field. You can't tell me it's that difficult not to hit the ball to the big boundary in the air. That's difficult. You can't tell me hit the ball in the gaps and run 2s and 3s. Game is not hard. They're making the game hard because, unfortunately, from the coach down to the players, there's something wrong. There's a dialogue problem. Because there must be a game plan, or there's no game plan. At stages of the game, we're going to be at 50, or wickets in hand, 5 overs to go. Let's see we get to 150, 5 overs to go. Let's try and get 10 overs from 50 to get to 200. These are the kind of things that we do at school cricket for the seniors. Even at club level. So at international cricket, you'd have thought somebody in there in that team will come up with a plan of where we're going to play, to structure the innings, to give us the best opportunity to a total that we can defend.
That's so true. As I said, there seems like there's some kind of synergy missing between the players and the coach, because by now by now you should be able to tell up this player, hey, this is what happened last game. This game is the same scenario, so you're not improving. You know what you think you're doing wrong. Have a discussion, a serious discussion.
If you get a chance to watch the game again, the captain yesterday got out playing an ordinary shot. About 2 overs after that, the captain is sat in the dugout, smiling on their lap. He hasn't even did it on their lap. Yeah, I'm telling you now. And I play for Leeds under Vivian Richie to see you man them soppy. You do that, and then it's a joke. It's not a joke.
They're taking it seriously enough, you know what I mean?
No, it's a joke. I've been in teams. We played in Ghana once, and we got out, caught backpack off, flag boats. It smashed this ball into cliff and like its chest, and the ball ballooned out, caught him there. He got about 21. And then the Vance Henry, the manager, Vance Henry says, "Can you change the rules?" And we be walking and start destroying the changes, upsetting it out. You know? We watched the guy yesterday, played a pro shot, and he come out and he's in the dugout and he's all smiles and laughing. That don't tell me don't care. You need to win the game to go through to the Super 12. And the captain is having a laugh and a joke with them after playing a pro shot. That just sums up the whole team.
Right.
Yeah, well, that professional approach, that seriousness they need, they push the players, man. That let them know representing the West Indies and the maroon colours. So it's very important for Caribbean people. It's very important. You don't want to go down to the game. You can't get this final.
Massively. Yeah.
Okay, man, West Indies finals, man.
The last time we won that tournament on the Darren Sammy, we had a kick to go to India.
Right.
Remember that series?
Yeah.
We got Mark Nicholas called the West Indies to a bunch of idiots.
That's true. Remember that comment.
Yeah. Mark Nicholas had to go to the West Indies team. Everybody having to go to the West Indies team. That's having to go. This person is having to go. The West Indies brought in back the players. The players went to India and dominated the tournament. Where those players gone? Where's Darren Sammy leadership? And I think he was a good leader. You know, and he offered something. They won it twice. The upsetting thing for me, as a West Indies cricket supporter, and somebody who's played the game, the franchise players who don't want to play for the test match team or don't want to play for the fourth year of the team because they're too contemplating for the franchise tournament. By all means, go to the franchise tournament, but bring back some experience to the West Indies. Bring back something you've learned in the IPL, the Big Bash, wherever you've been. Bring something back to the table. Because currently, what I see nobody bringing anything back to the table. Nobody. Okay, Alzheimer's Joseph is one of few people who has gone out and learned his trade and he had to go out and do things the hard way. But you can clearly see him playing in India, in the IPL, he's learned new skills. And to see yesterday, in the last couple of days, how much he's learned, how much he's come up. Where's the rest of it? I don't see nothing they brought back. The Nicholas programs.
We see.
You know.
That was my observation from the last World Cup. They're picking experienced players who play in IPL and this L and RKL, and they can't see what they bring to the table, what they learn. You can't see it. So we need them experience for if you're not learning anything, and bring it back to the young, to the youngsters again, learn from you. That's my problem. You can't. They play Big Bash. They play this with some of the best players, and they're not learning nothing. At least they're showing you that they learn something.
Yeah, I said that 2 days ago. Somebody came to my house talking to me and said, look, no one sat me down and teach me how to bowl. I said, no one needed to. I was around a team, so that's one of those talented players ever to grace the earth. And if you can't even in that environment, something's wrong with you. Sometimes people have to even coach you. You know, just listen to people talk about the game. Watch what people do, preparation.
Right.
That's what I learned. You know, I tell people I've roomed with Kenny and Ambi and these people. I remember sitting down and telling you how to bowl. We just talk about the game before bedtime. We talk about the game in the bar. And I'm just soaking it up thinking, you know, I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that. It didn't do me any harm because, you know, I was a decent cricketer. But, you know, all the people to the IP, they paid loads of money, thousands of pounds. Why are they going back home to the Caribbean? Nothing. Well, at least I can't see it this last year or so. I don't see it. So the question I want to ask you quickly, where's the next generation coming from? Is there next generation there? Where are they?
Well, I think the talent is there. It's just how we harness that talent. We need proper guys around them that will instill discipline. The most thing is discipline and also the mental toughness. Because if you look at the team, it's not lack of talent, it's their head. They're not playing with the cricket in their head. As I said, they're clueless. If you get 10 runs on 2 balls, who say you need to knock a 6 or 4 next ball? Don't push the ball around. If it's a good ball, disrespect it. Because you're already ahead of the scoring.
Yeah, but we've been in teams. We've been in teams together on the roster also. We've been in teams together. He created a philosophy of how he wants to play. How the top 5, the top 6 going to play. You know? No matter how talented you are, Mandela. No matter how talented you are. You have all the shots in the world. If you're not a team player, right, you're no good.
Right.
You have to be a team player. So what basically I'm seeing yesterday, you got talented bunch of cricketers, but they're not team players. They're doing by themselves. The shot Nicholas Pooran play yesterday tells you that he's not a team player. He's the captain, by the way. You're not team players. I know how talented you are. I've got some of the more talented kids in my school, but they're struggling with information. So they don't play, they play in the Bs.
Right.
Play in the B team. Play the B team. So I'd rather somebody there who's half the talent, but people to work and listen, right? How the team wants to play. The team dynamics is more important than individuals. How the team play is more important than individuals, Mandela. That's the difference between winning and losing.
That's true. Let me ask you a question though. If you, let's say you was given a job for lead this West Indian team, what do you do differently?
Well, it's clear to see the structure, from the bottom up, needs revamping.
Right.
So, this is a great start. From under 13s up through the men's and seniors, everybody play a longer version of the game. Currently, this T20, 20 over game is not working because nobody wants to bat long. And can you keep mentioning that every time on this show? Can you keep mentioning people are not prepared to bat long? Okay, that's one aspect of it. But if people are not technically correct, they can't play and bat long.
True.
If people are able to leave the ball and get in line with the ball and get behind the ball rather than beside the ball, they don't bat long. What's the process? What's the feet? How the feet move? The feet are all over the place. The hands are moving all over the place. They are compact. So they're set to play shots and shots and shots. You know, look at the better teams in the world. The test cricket team is basically the T20
Yeah.
Because the Australians, that's South Africa, and South Africa is in transition at the moment. England, so to speak, a little bit. okay, they're going to really know hard with Livingston and the guys, but predominantly they all play at test level. So I would just shift it back and say, look, let us change this structure and how we're going to actually, in the next 10 years, by 2030, by 2032, let's see if we can challenge again and be a force to reckon with. So until we actually change the structure and shift back and come up with a clear plan of how we're going to progress from the grassroots to test arena, we've got no chance. And somebody has to be accountable and got their stuff in the neck and say, look, it's not enough, we need to do this.
Right.
Now, unless we do that, I don't see any hope for us.
I just want to ask a quick question about England test squad. I heard they called the guy Liam Livingstone to play test cricket. And they're making us think about it because I don't think he played much first class cricket. So I think that was a up until he breaks onto the white ball game. He played for Lancashire and back in the top four. Well, he's another one. We're not saying he's franchise. He's another one who was turning hand into a bit of off spin, a bit of leg spin, and a power hitter. Right. But I've got no doubt he could play the other version of the game. Okay.
Because he's smart enough.
Right.
I just watched him back a while ago against Rashid Khan, against spin. Just milking Rashid Khan, down the ground for one, and just having a net. The problem is
common sense cricket.
Good players don't have egos.
Well, what do you think about England chances? What do you think about England chances in the World Cup?
This kind of World Cup, I think it'll be between them and India. Because I see Australia got pumped this morning by New Zealand. So I think it's going to be like between England and India final, with New Zealand somewhere around here. But maybe wrong. That's my prediction anyway.
I think that's a fair enough prediction. I think that's a fair enough prediction.
Now you got to be the form teams, the form teams with the world class players. You know, they're the world class, the Josh Butlers, the Ben Stokes. You know, you look at India, the Kohlis, Rohit Sharma. Got a bowling attack, we've got space, we've got spin, we've got variation. So on paper, they're the team to beat, really. I don't know what's your thoughts?
Well, in terms, I think Taddy going to Australia. Who think will win the World Cup?
Well, no, I think England is a good team. You know. To be honest, with you, I don't really back them. But England is a good team. I think New Zealand, India, Pakistan, they're all good teams.
Right.
And on the day, you never know. You know, but England got some guys like I say, can hit the ball all down the line. Powerful hitters. And it's
we got depth. We got a lot of depth in the batting.
Yeah, the depth is
there. A lot of variation.
No doubt about it. They have the depth. Powerful hitters.
Yeah. Well, just look at the ICC ranking. To have one fast ball in the top 10, there's 9 spin bowlers in the top 10.
Right.
Nine spin bowlers in the top 10 of the ICC T20 ranking, bowling ranking. So that tells you the story.
That's so
well, we see. We have just been graced now with this great fast bowler here. Late as usual. Can I say late as usual? Well, like West in this team, late to the dance.
Who's it now, Cody?
Yes.
Don't believe what I say here, boss. That's all the information.
Management late.
You have to come after long and late sometime, right?
Sometimes we'll just stop late.
That's why Weeks.
Yeah.
He's in England.
Oh, you're in the cold, but you need to put that here upon your head for the weather, man.
No, the cold, man. Up to 17 degrees, Cody. Remember?
I have played in colder weather, so that's all right. It's not cold yet.
Yeah. Well, last cold Bristol. Back in the day.
Yep.
Last cold down there.
So he's our special guest today, you know. And we fill you in because you're running a little late. You know, business to take care of. So we accept his apology, you know. But we have to get to the meat of the business. Why West Indies can't stay in Australia or they come home so early. So I have to knock him hard early and bright. You know, I'm an aggressive player. When he bounces, you want to hook him.
He's coming out of aggression very early.
Hey, God, let's go. All right, for one, Tigger, can't bounce Vivi and between them. We're going to hook you. You know, the summer work.
Yeah.
You know, we're glad to see bouncers. We're happy. We can't happy hookers. You know?
Happy hookers,
Yeah, we like the short bars. So what happened? Tell us about what happened to West Indies. What you think?
We see you want to continue to stay or you have to go?
Say again?
You have to go? Or you want to stay on?
No, I can listen for a bit.
Okay,
Yeah, go on.
I'm busy, man. Alright, good morning, Cody.
Good morning, sir. I'm very good, sir.
Sports Mandela, man. Like, you carry bowling some bouncers quite early, man. Give me a
No, the bouncer hooking.
From early.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're hooking.
You're trying to hook early, yeah. All I do was bowling the slow yard.
Alright, so how things going?
Things are alright. Things are not too bad. A bit busy. In camp with the girl, and then I'm in camp, but I'm moving camp from home. So I'll be honest with you, it's more difficult to be up and down all over the place. When you're in camp, you're a little bit more settled, and you can plan things around it. But to be moving from home is not as easy as I thought it would have been.
Well, I thought you were busy because I know next week Sunday is a big day for you. You thought I didn't know, man, but I know. I keep tracks of you.
We're keeping tracks of it.
Yeah, man, next week Sunday.
Every day is a big day for me.
No, but next week Sunday especially is a big day.
Every morning I get up is a big day.
That's true, but you know next week Saturday is a big thing for you.
I hear you.
For life,
You know, so I'm very smart.
I don't know time now I've been buying it, but I know next week Sunday.
It's very quiet.
So don't say
Keep it. You know, funny enough, I was asked that question this morning, and I said, well, nothing is happening. Everything is quiet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll keep you posted. And tell it, you know what you can tell you. I'll WhatsApp you.
Yeah.
So tell me something, man, because I've seen that West Indies team coming up early. I don't want to dodge around this thing, you know.
They're coming home early. I thought we have a test series down there.
Well, the World Cup,
Oh, you mean we not
2020 thing. And
disappointed? Disappointed, very disappointed. But
this is why they put it in my league.
well, I can only put it mildly. You might can be able to watch a little bit more than me, but no, we're disappointed, and I'm sure the whole Caribbean is disappointed. Honestly, thought I would have get out of the zone that we were in, but
Exactly.
unfortunately, we didn't. And it's
But a zone should be, in my opinion, an easy zone.
Yeah.
If we play the World West Indies cricket, Scotland, Ireland, Zimbabwe.
I mean, I'm sure if you check with any other players on the way down, when you look at that zone, you'll figure, well, it's West Indies on which team coming out. But
Yeah,
it went the other way around. You know, went the other way around.
I didn't think West Indies couldn't come out of that zone. I never thought that.
A friend of mine just called me from London and asked me the same question. I've been having calls from left, right, and centre. What has happened? Why we can't go to that zone? That zone was an easy zone. And yes, it looked relatively easy, but sometimes when you go in probably a little bit too casual, not saying that they did, but the teams that have lesser expectations, they sometimes rise because they have that little bit more hunger and they have more to play for because they really have nothing to lose. So I don't know if we got caught off guard or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, we had a couple of games where if you ask me, and if you ask me again, I would still say, yeah, we'll have come out of that zone.
No, I'm going to agree with you one thing. When I played, when I come out against Courtney Walsh and Mikey Holden, that's a big thing for me. So I'm really motivated. I don't want to get mowed. And this is what happened with the lesser teams because West Indies. They don't want to lose.
Exactly. And I mean, I say it because of the experience when I was in Bangladesh. Whenever we were playing a team bigger than us, we were pumped up. So you know the West Indies, England, Australia.
Right.
Back then, they were the players themselves. They were like more hunger because they have everything to play for. And not only that, you know, since the point system came in, you know if you beat a team above you, you get a whole ton of points, you know, a lot of points. So
That's how the system works.
yeah. So there's a lot of hunger in it for the I don't want to say minus, but for the lesser teams. And we just have to wheel and come again.
Yeah, I agree. We have to wheel and come again. But I like to say, man, I say stay watch some Western cricket for the next round.
Yeah.
And now we're out of this thing.
Well, I think I don't know how to put it, but for me, I didn't get a chance. I wasn't watching the game. I was just following the scores, and I fell asleep. When we were batting, I fell asleep, And when I woke up, I saw the score we get, and I think, it doesn't look like enough, but I think we have enough to fight with. And when I saw that they only lost 1 wicket, when I get back up and check, I'm saying, well, what? I didn't see it, so I'm not going to lie. I didn't see it.
I didn't see that.
I was just following the score. When I saw the one for 1 wicket down, I'm thinking, wow, something went.
That wasn't good. Only losing 1 wicket.
Yeah.
But as you said too, this guy is Sterling. Anytime you tend to meet West Indies, like he has up his game against West Indies, the guy is Sterling.
Yeah, because he was struggling throughout the whole series apparently.
Struggling.
And he just
26
turned, yeah.
Stuff like that.
There was a guy who came here for Coolswood 2022 for Scotland. He did well against West Indies the first game too.
Right.
He played with Coolswood 2020 for Bethesda, I think he played for.
Okay.
He opened bat. He did made some runs for Scotland against West Indies the first game too. I forgot his name now. But he came here, he was playing the 2020 here. He Coolswood. But those guys
He did about West Indies. I don't know why he did about West Indies. I want to teach you about your current job where you know. I know you
no, we can get there.
I don't want to get the West Indies thing off. I expected that when I come through. I came prepared because he's like that. That's why most of the guys who we brought up on them were so fierce and good competitors because you give them about it the hard way. So the stories I've heard about Tally, if you don't come to the party ready to party, then you might as well go home.
They call this guy Hitler, actually.
But quickly. Earl say you'll get to your job. Well, Earl is right. He's still watching this cricket, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I said to you, you said something earlier, you know. And that job you have is a difficult job, you know. Whether I want to hit you hard or not, it's a very difficult job.
It is.
Because the ladies cricket is just budding stuff, it's not like the old senior guys.
Yeah.
So because we have a problem with the ladies cricket, we don't have the infrastructure yet.
I was gonna say that to you. That is one of the main things we have. We don't have the infrastructure one, and we don't have that wider pool of players.
Exactly.
So you just have to work with what you have at the moment, and I would love to see that pool expanded. And one of the things that I keep throwing out, and I threw it out on this program as well, I think if locally, every territory can start to play some kind of women's league cricket, and play it over 2 days or over 2 weekends. It doesn't have to be 50 over, 20 over. So the girls can practice a bat longer and bowl longer. When it comes down to the shorter version of the game, they will be better cricketers. But we don't have that infrastructure. So if Leeward Islands, Windward, Jamaica, have some kind of league. I mean club league. It doesn't have to be a league, club. Make sure that it's been played. And overseen by Cricket West Indies, if we can get that structure in place where they're playing a lot of cricket, that's the only way we're going to widen the pool and get better players. I mean, we have, unfortunately, in a way, but fortunately, I'm happy for them, the young under-19 girls are going to the World Cup the same time as the senior teams for the World Cup. So I would say, well, then we're looking to see if we can pull anybody from that because they'll be competing at the same time. But if we can get, at the end of the World Cup, if we can get a nucleus of those under-19 players and move them into a system of emerging players or something like that to work with. But yes, but at the same time, if you really want to widen the pool, I think we need to play more club cricket in the territories.
I'm glad you got in the code because I've been knocking this over 2 years now, dear boat. I was really unexpected for one season. I came out of that because you can pick a 40 team, 50 over competition. So the players not learning to bat for long. You know what I mean? If players don't learn to bat for long, you can't improve your batting skills and your bowling skills.
Correct.
You have to learn to bowl for long. Look, you know when you played, you're an opening bowler. But you know, more than like you come back and after lunch to bowl.
And sometime before lunch.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, but look at it this way. If you play on a wicket that suits your type of bowling, or you're getting wickets, and the skipper give you a spell after the first hour, and he wants a 2 or 3 over before lunch because you're looking at a wicket. Then you again.
You have to come back.
And you have to come back. There's no question. And you're ready for it.
And that's the difference in playing a 4-day match and it's 20, 50 over business.
Yeah.
Because you know the captain will rely on you before lunch, maybe, after lunch.
And after lunch, you have a spell. But even that lunch you bowl before a spell, that 3 over, it continues after lunch.
After lunch.
So the next 5 or 6 in your face.
And hey, you might be into the middle, the captain want it before tea again, you want to clean them up.
You want to clean, but don't do that as well. You as a bowler want to make sure I don't know if they do it now, but when I used to play, 5 wickets was my target. I want 5 wickets in 9 innings.
Exactly.
So if you have 3 of them or 4 of them before
Hey,
lunch,
you're begging the captain for bowling.
they have to get the ball out your hand.
Hey, you're begging the captain for bowling.
Yeah, you want the ball, and when you get that ball, you don't want to lose it. So you're trying to get that 5th wicket one, and then you want to clean up, and they want to clean up as well. So sometimes you're supposed to bowl at 10 or 15 in the day, but you bowl at 18 or 20
At 20,
the
something,
team
something
requires
more than
one,
20.
and you want to make sure you get some wicket for yourself. You want to pick yourself for the next game.
I like, see, I glad you got it again. I tell people all the time, when you play in the team, you play for your next pick. You want to play the next match,
Yeah,
so
man.
you perform as best as you can get.
Yeah.
You don't want to really select the chance to drop you.
No,
At least if they drop you, in that way, not because you're poor performers.
And we can go there and say, sometimes you're the leading wicket taker and you still get dropped. I'm talking about our experience.
Okay.
But that is it. It's not a case that you fail or you think, selectors probably figure for this game coming up, they want that combination. You know within yourself that you have done everything in your power to maintain your play, and you get leave out. You just have to hold on that. But if you come and check stats, well, the man at the most wickets when you leave him out, or you haven't really bowled badly, but it could be freshening up somebody else, or different options. But you know within yourself you have performed to try to maintain your play. And there's days when you figure, wow, I'm not so good today, boy, I might get dropped. And sometimes it happens you get dropped, or sometimes you don't get dropped. But it's you know to have that pride to say, well, no, I want to pick yourself at all times.
But like you said earlier, you might be bowling very well and they get in the wicket.
Yeah.
So the captain will still want,
Because you're bowling well, and one day it's going to come.
Exactly.
And I keep telling people, I don't know if you think that when you get 5 or 6 wickets, it's not a time for somebody to come and tell you well bowled, because the figures is there. Sometimes you don't bowl that well, but the figures is there.
Exactly.
It's on the days where you labor and you really bowl well and you have nothing to show for it. I prefer to come and say, well, that was a mammoth effort today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes some batsmen on the top of the bowling though. You have to come and contain them.
Yeah. And the spell is not a wicket taking spell. You can't be looking for no wicket, you're looking to keep things tight.
Keeps you tight.
Yeah.
And that's important to have that kind of ball in the team.
Well, that's why me and my friend Curtly Ambrose were so good. We complemented each other. If it's his day, I just hold the reins. And if things going for me, he'll do the same. So people used to think we compete. We never competed. We complemented each other. And we had that understanding.
That's important.
We had that understanding. And the other thing as well though, is if I'm struggling and he sees that, he'll pick up the rein. And if he's struggling, it's the same thing. I never forget the Lord's Test match. I think it's the last Test match we played in England. No, not in England, but the last Test match we played at Lords together. When we arrived at the ground, and 2000. We will look up on the board and we say, boy, our name not up here, and why we don't want to get up there? Don't see, we look up on the board, and one of us
The
didn't want to
stats,
go
the
up there.
stats.
Yeah. And I said, but Kurt, we can't finish our career, and now one of us need to get up there. I said it was a challenge for the both of us. Right. And unfortunate for him, he was struggling a little bit. So I pick up the slack, and I managed to get my name on the board. But it just shows the way he was so happy for me, because I was the same for him. But that just shows that we weren't competing against each other. We wanted. Because we can't play at the House of Lords and one of us need to there.
And it's strange.
You guys are push one another.
But, yeah, man.
It's strange enough, like I said. It's strange enough. Okay, see, that board says a lot.
It does.
Somebody 50 years ago, somebody can see a name there.
I go in the day there for a charity game, and when I look up and see all the other names, the Wands and the McGrath, I see your name in there as a West Indian. I just check out all the West Indian, Marshall, it makes you feel proud. Make you feel good, yeah, man. I'm sorry that his name is not on there with you, because we're hunting peers and it has been nice. But he's happy for me, and that means a lot.
I like it for the hunting piece. It was Andy and Holding.
Yeah.
Marshall was there, coming the guys and so. So now they come in peers.
They come in peers.
Someday at one day you had 4.
Yeah. There's some days we had 4. But for me, when I started, we had 4: Holding, Garner, Marshall, and myself. And I was a rookie, but I was the one that was both with towards into the wind. You did the craft job? I did the craft job. But that was a way of getting a play.
Yeah, exactly.
So you bowl 20 to 40.
Why the rookie always get the donkey work?
That's how it goes when you just started. But the thing about it for me is that because for some strange reason, even when I was a senior player, the same thing happened. And I look at it as a way of, because I'd mastered the craft, the youngsters, they would need something to learn from. I didn't sort of show that burden. I just continued what I was doing because I was aware of it. So even when I was captain of the team, I used to give Kirk the hands of both. I mean, you choose the end you want, and you always go from the easy end of the breeze, go behind it back. You can know it, it just goes up, show the little thing in the air, anywhere the wind going, everybody know which way to go because they know he's not going to be running into the wind.
I was saying that for the bottom.
Yeah,
I'll take that in there.
and he goes out. And then the slip just go in place. And
Hey, but
one or two other players just look at me and laugh. I said, boy, I skip. I don't know you do it into the win again.
But I didn't know fast we had to say stuff like batsman. When you community, just community, you now feel under the bat.
Yeah.
That's your
That
position.
was a young batter. Yeah, I know that era as well. A young batsman, use a bat pad. Until a new batter come in, you there. And if you're very good at it, you're there for a long time. Yeah, man. We had Gus and Jimmy, who to me were two of the better bat pad we had, yeah. In my time. Phil did a bit. But Phil could catch, you know. Phil was in the slip and thing. But Jimmy, who was a top outfielder, sort of created that bat pad position. With good anticipation, the way he moved around and stuff, and Gus Logie as well. Gus was brilliant in the outfield.
Yes, brilliant in the outfield.
Gus was the two, Gus and Jimmy to me. In my time that I played, if you ask me the best bat pad I had was one of the two of them. Desmond Haynes used to field there as well. But Gus and Jimmy for some reason.
That's true.
Yeah.
They won a position.
They won the position. And the thing about it is that Gus, you could put Gus anywhere in the outfield. Right?
Joe.
But because of how good he became at bat pad, we just left him there. So there was a gap left out there that he would cover because that man was
Well, let me ask a question, Coach. Okay, when I watch what's in the team now, you hardly use bat pad for the fast bowlers. What happened?
I don't know. I never used to like bowling without one.
That's what I'm thinking.
God keep the batsman guessing. And I'm not looking to, people used to think that bat pad mean bouncer. Bat pad doesn't mean bouncer, you know. Bat pad mean if the ball is swinging in and in play.
Inside edge, good length.
And
inside
also it have him thinking well,
But
you
now
know, what to
you
do.
had the Batman as such because you know you the ball shot one
Exactly.
So you just keep
So you keep that bat pad in for as long as you can to answer the bat.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bat pad doesn't come into play because you're focusing on this side of the wicket.
Right.
But the batsman is always guessing, and if he knows if he pops it up.
Well, let me ask you, do you think our bowlers not going enough these days? I'm asking. I'm just asking.
It's a tough question.
It's a tough question.
The skill set is there. I think we have good fast bowlers. I think what a lot of people want to see is that awareness and the plans and that improvement over time. I mean, we have some top fast bowlers here. I like Roach, I like young Joseph. For me, now he's now coming into his own, which is very, very good to see. But there's a lot of other youngsters, the Shimara holders that we saw, Seals from Trinidad, that when I see him in the nets one day, I just said, wow, he was here. And he's a kid that I would like to see him speaking to like the Andrew Roberts, you know, the Kurt left, so he can learn more, because the more you speak to these guys, the more you're going to
So we're not speaking to you?
No, I speak to him.
Okay.
No, I don't dodge him. I see him in the CPL, wherever I see him, I speak to him.
But I want to ask a question. I'm glad you got here.
Yeah.
There was a guy from Jamaica, big, young fast bowler guy. I'll get picking 2020. Thomas or then something.
O'Shane Thomas.
What happened to him? He never developed. They never gave him a chance, in my opinion. They say he overweight, kind of stuff here. So why didn't they get him to, like they did Carnival, the fitness plan? I don't know. You answer me. You come in the hot seat now.
No, I'm in the hot seat. No, and I'm saying, I'll say it openly that he had raw talent and raw
Exactly.
players. Yes, something should have been done to keep him in the system, I think, but at the same time, he would have to do something as well. And I don't know where it went wrong, because he's from the same club as me in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And when he, as a youngster, we see him then, that's the first time I started interacting with him. And we brought him into the club system and stuff. And he had mentors and people looking after him. And I know every time I went back to Jamaica, whenever I was here, I would see him and we would work together. And when I saw him, was it Bangladesh for the first time when I was down there, I said, that's when the weight started. I said, you have to keep fit. Yeah. If you're a fast bowler, you need legs to run in, strong back and strong, but you have to be fit. And then I remember seeing him in a CPL when I did the CPL with the Patriots. So was it 2020? I think it was 2020. And I said to him, no, you're not going to ride. You have to do something. I had a long chat with him because he wasn't even playing in the team then. I said, you're wasting talent, you're wasting pace. But someone like him, he was got raw pace.
Yeah.
You have to have him in the system. He maintains that. You're gonna get 3-4 good years out of him. He's gonna benefit from it, and the team should benefit from it. And you don't want to lose that.
I'm going another step. Kind of it's important to me. Okay, when we pick him, it's usually 2020. So you think he suffered from that boring for the cricket? The
Can't get
longest
to
one?
2020. Someone like him has to play 4-day cricket.
Yeah, that's
He
what I'm
has to play
thinking.
first class
Yeah.
cricket. Help his
Plenty,
fitness,
plenty.
help his stamina. And I might look at it the wrong way, but if you can bowl me 10, 15 good overs, then you should be able to bowl me 4 good overs.
Yeah.
If you understand where I'm coming from.
At the same time, they get him fit too.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if you
Yeah.
play bowl 15, 20 overs, you're getting fitter. So when the time comes to bowl that 4 over, you should master it.
Exactly.
Right? And that's how I was looking at it. But you get better exposure, more experience by bowling the longer version.
I see the guys with real pace and they say, how are they allowing to just disappear out of the scene? I don't know.
Well, let me ask Courtney a tough question though. That conversation we had with him, how receptive he was.
He was receptive to me. I think it would always be out of respect because we play at the same club. And it's one of the things that I was regretted a little bit that I wasn't home. That was the time I thought I went off to Bangladesh. I wasn't home more to pay a little bit more attention to him. As I think guidance would be something that would have been helpful.
For me, what I'm saying as youngster Teddy is, I said the right word, guidance. The guy is raw, natural talent. I just need the right management structure around him,
Yeah.
so he can push his goods.
So he's someone that I would have invested in if I had the thing to say, listen, come. Because the raw pace, you can't find raw pace just like that.
No.
And when you have someone like that, you just nurture him and just let them hone in on the skills.
Right. I think that's a waste of time we have here. That's prime material.
Well, wait. I want to knock you both a little bit with this. I want to knock you both a little bit. Because if you were there, so kind of system now in Jamaica that they couldn't help him.
No, when I say I was in Bangladesh, right, I lost track of it, but we have I think a reasonable system at the club we was at Melbourne. That's the club I play for.
But what would the national team stuff? This guy that got talent was going to get him in something.
I'm not sure how that is structured.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I know at the club structure we had some good people in place with them. We had Mark Neat, Robert Summers in the same club, and they will help as much as they can. Robert at one time was doing a lot of work with them, and then he went off at Yobe, and I think that's somewhere in that transition. O'Shane sort of went a little bit. Cause I remember calling Robert and said, boy, I saw O'Shane, and I haven't seen him in a while because I'm not with the club because of a different work, but actually, something is wrong. Well, I had a chat with him then, you can't be putting on the weight.
But when you come back down to also the individual player, yes, have to take ownership too. In terms of your ethics though,
I don't think he did enough.
Right.
That was just my humble opinion,
Right.
which is what I said to him. I said, as a fast bowler, you have to do so much more
Right.
than the average cricketer, so to speak.
Yep.
Right.
And a fast bowler work, if you put the work in, you work twice as hard as other people at the start of it. But then after you put that work in, it's just maintenance.
Maintenance.
So if you can get to the system, and nobody knows your body better than you.
Correct.
If you get to the system when you know you're at your peak or I'm comfortable now,
Right.
and you can only know that by playing, practicing hard and things, and you get to a certain level now where when you come out of a test match, you don't feel short of work, you don't feel as if, well, then you were unfit. You know you're at the peak, and then it's maintenance. And I use test match because that's played over 5 days.
Yeah.
You go into a 50 over game, and there's only 10 overs. Yeah, you're on the field for 50 overs, and you're moving around a little bit more. But that doesn't test you. For me, testing is coming back. After you bowl that first spell, how well you do your second spell,
Correct.
how well you do your third spell. And if you skip one to fourth spell, can you do it?
Now I know how I do it.
Right.
It's a fitness.
Because that's what testing is.
Yeah.
So when you come off a field and you bowl your 3 spells, it might be 3 spells of 5 or 3 spells of 7, which is 15 or 21. You would know that, well, wow, yeah, I'm okay because I'm not puffing, I'm not tired, I'm not drained, I'm not dehydrated. But if you come off the field after 14 overs and you say, you know you have to do some more work.
Right.
But when you get to that level now where you can bowl 20 overs in a day,
Right.
and you still know that, well, you could have bowled some more,
Right.
then it's just maintenance. And that's when you're getting close to
I said
your peak.
to you, Cody, you're so correct. Like I used to tell my guys when they come factory here with me, the real fast bowler is second and third spell, the real bowlers,
Yeah.
Not the new ball.
No.
When the pitch settled down now, the pitch is good.
Test yourself now.
Test yourself.
Always when the test of time come. And I tell people this as well. With the new ball, you get a lot happening with the new ball, so you don't have to do as much sometimes. It's when the shine gone off the ball and you have to work the wicket and then work on the batsman. That's really the test of time.
But I know very good about that kind of guy from Wales, so this guy that bounced on one foot, that was not hitting on a lot of people and stuff. And you came to the factory and Ty cross over the wicket.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a lot about it, say fast, try to get him a whole ball, show how fast it is.
No, Courtney, I don't do for too long, you know. And you know, after the first 2 hours, now the cricket pitch settled down nicely. And the two batsmen batting well. You have to think how to get them out.
Yeah.
You're not about just running in the ball, you have to outthink them.
Yeah, you outthink them.
I remember one time I gave Winston a plant out garden graders, you know. I said, boy, coach, it work. Because I said, see the test batsmen, they think a lot. And when you go wide in the crease, they think ball coming in. When you go close, the ball going out. So we give him first the plan in him. You go close in the duck and go wide and go away. I said, God, again, knock out the edge. And he cussed up in the pavilion. When look at boy in the board, the kind of ball that can work the plan. Because then great batsmen, you don't know the plan I use. When you go wide, you can see with the and then you go close. So we can change the plan in him. And we did plan in him.
Because no, but you're right. These batsmen, the Graham Gooches, Desmond, they used to do it a lot as well. They look to see how you hold the ball in your hand at the top of your mark, and they look to see where you're delivering from. And they always figure once you go wide, you're looking to. But that was the basic stuff.
Exactly.
So I remember bowling to Desmond in a first class game in Barbados. And every time I go wide of the stumps, I just try to get the ball to either hold its shape or leave it. Because he's not looking for that, and he keeps taking and missing and thing. So much so that at the break when we were coming off, you know, your foot, you give me the foot size and say, I realize what you're doing, man. You're coming that way, and then you're going that way. But the ball still, you know, because what I did is, as you rightly say, if you come close in and you can get the ball to swing into him, he's not expecting it. So he's always late. So it took him a while to adjust. You either chip the hedge or you get the LBW and you're happy. But the next time you can't come back with the same plan because they were thinking and looking out for it.
You're looking no.
Because that's what the thing. And Graham Booth was one that I didn't realize until then. I think Malcolm drew my attention to it. He would stand up on the top of the mark to see which way, if he can pick up the shine side. And once he realized which way the shine side is going, then he tried to premeditate what's going to happen. So if the shine side is swinging in, you know you're looking to bowl him in swingers. So you have to hide from him. That's why I was him and them started doing the thing, right? So after a while, I started to run with the ball in my left hand. For that especially against England. You keep it there, so you take it up the last one. And like me and Winston was talking about the things, if you can twist the ball when you have it, if you can swing it around in your hand without the batter picking it up, then you can also try that. So you know, there's different ways and things to think about. So when you take it up, by the time you come, if you can flick it in your hand without them knowing. If you don't know which way going, they can't.
But with all this knowledge here and stuff like that, I will tell you, 10 young fast bowlers that we have now, they study all these things that you guys study?
I don't know.
But do the batsmen, this batsmen have no pay attention to those kind of things?
Because these are permanent information you share here with us?
Because those batsmen they're smart guys, you know, the batsmen, they pay attention to every little thing. So you have to outsmart them.
You have to.
Because those guys, when they settle in, they can't get them out easily, you know. You have to hope.
I just said, well, he said, Desi noticed, came and told him, I know what you're doing. So yeah, we pick up that ready. So he could get smart.
Yeah. You have to try to be ahead there. And you think to be ahead. You think about giving yourself the best chance of being able to compete.
Right.
And the other thing I would say about this is that when you bowl into him in the nets as well, it's like a competition.
Okay.
You're competing because he doesn't want you to get him out.
Right. You don't want to get him out?
No, you don't. And he's trying to tempt you to. He used to just love to play the ball the leg. He had a wicked pick up the leg and thing, and he just tried to walk across and get that shot. And if him get him laugh, you know, if you allow him to, it was like a victory for him. So you don't want him to do that. So you try to make sure that you stay in the game and thing with him, and you starve him. Like you come on and say, boy, you guys starve me today, but I can get you tomorrow. And so that kind of competition, you like it.
Yeah, it's competitive practice.
Yeah. That's good. We saw that at Factory a lot too, competition. You know what I mean? Especially Kenneth Benjamin in particular, he and the guy in Atto used to have like test match in the nets. Yeah. They set the field and say, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, the field set. So you hook a shot, well, that's out and again and stuff. So it's good you can compete even in practice. I learned that from Greg Chopper. Greg Chopper, when he's batting in net, he doesn't want to get out. He's practicing not to get out. When you go in the match now,
doesn't want to get out. But that's how it's supposed to be.
It's a habit.
But then they have to ask now, what is our practice structure like for West Indies now? Because the kind of shots I see people playing, like I was telling you earlier, you see guys out the same way over and over and stuff. They don't go back in nets and try to correct their mistakes. What do we do?
Well, that's supposed to be part of it. I mean, Sonny Gavaskar, and I think Boycott used to say it a lot on commentaries that when a series, they don't want to get out twice the same way in that series.
Right.
So if you nick off the next match, you're trying to make sure that don't happen again.
Right.
Because that's the only way you try to correct your mistakes. I mean, it's not saying it's not going to happen, but they don't want it to happen. And if they get out twice in a series like that, they would think that they haven't done well.
And I can speak for myself. I remember a series I played for Antigua when he was in the league, but because I get bowling too much. And when I came back to Antigua, to factory, as soon as I get bowling, I'm batting done. They tell me, you don't get picked because I get bowling as Mark, you're scoring 86 runs when they get picked. And I told me, I think I get bowling, I'm batting finish. So I never back, I know I never hit my stump. That's it. When the first ball, two ball, that's it from batting. So it just shows that at factory is our structure where we practice to make sure we improve on mistake.
I would have a quote. He played in the youth tournament. He scored second balls after Stuart Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And he about 2 or 3 centuries, and they can pick, say, get bowled on 2 halves in.
Yeah, I know, second.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And other guys who get picked for me, they average 30 and 40. And he averaged 90 something. But they say get bowled into this. But I tell myself, the coaches, their mind, they kind of hard in it. Because we don't score 100 and something, you get outboard.
Yeah, that's fine. You have the runs on the board. Try to work with them now to prevent it being outboard. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was very harsh,
That was harsh.
in my opinion. You know?
No, that was harsh.
Especially out of 19 player.
That was harsh. You're that rough one, man.
Serious thing, man. So, tell me what you remember batting the cage of the West Indies. I want, look, tell me where you're batting first. I want to take you to something else that is very, very, very personal to me. We can get there after.
You want to hear about my batting?
Your batting is maybe you might have batted, saved it. Like, I remember holding.
I will start first.
Wait, I remember I'm making Mike had innings with Viv in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Where they put out 100 and something partnership.
Yeah.
Where he's number 11 batsman.
Yeah.
That he didn't score many ones in a but that
I
partnership.
think he probably scored about 12. Mikey at Almo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can you recall one of those kind of innings you played one like that?
Not one, a few. I'll feel about that double century he made in Melbourne.
Yeah.
When we leave England in '84 and he couldn't get a run. I never forget this. He was giving out LBW, dubious, and he knew the umpire very well. And I remember him saying it, back in those days we were drinking the Cornell test. I was a rookie on tour. I didn't play any of the test matches, but this test match was at Lords. The famous one where God get 214 and Larry Gomes got some runs not out. Viv had some runs in the first test, and then the second test he was giving out LBW. I think the umpire was a Somerset umpire, I'm not sure, but I remember him saying to Palms, boy, I think he had me today, but I hope it doesn't haunt me for the rest of the series. Just joking because I'm a friend, right? And Viv didn't get any more runs for the rest of that tour. As it was only in the one day game, no more runs for the rest of that tour. And he was struggling in Australia. And this test match was at Melbourne now, and you could tell the big man was getting flustered and frustrated. Right? I think he even wanted to take a rest or whatever. They tell him, no, you can't take it. And in this test match at Melbourne, he get a little star. And I went over the bat and he must have was in the 160s or something like that. And I hit Murray Bennett for a 6. And him said, shot! And
You knocked somebody for 6.
6, wait the man. And the big man come and said, let's tell you something. If you ever get out of this wire between me, you know, I want a double. Him shout out first and shot! And come and we've talked. You can't get out of it, I want a double. And that's why I know it meant something. I think I had 2 6s now. I make 30. That was my highest test score. 30 not out. Because the big man left me.
The big man.
He left me high and dry. After I get the double, right? I wanted to set him no, but I skip him. I ski a little fifth. And the same move, I think Matthews put up and just decided to go and take him to top. And so I stayed with him for him to get that double. All right?
That's important.
We're not test match here with Jimmy batting against Pakistan. Where Jimmy had us to stay with. I hung on for Jimmy and we a narrow victory. And the one in Barbados, I didn't make any runs, but I feel about 3 overs of Magra and Gillespie.
That was Lara.
Just keep them out and Lara.
That was Lara.
I didn't have to make any runs. The big man was in his eye.
Lara.
No, those are crucial in this.
But the vital.
Then the best thing now is to leave alone, man. I know that's what you want.
No, I want to go to something. I want to go to something that's very, very, very popular and been talking about all the world right now. that man can think.
Okay.
Because I remember you refused to do that in the World Cup, and I commend you to this day. I can tell you why. About 30-something years ago, I drafted a law in parachute cricket, which says you can't white chop nobody unless you first warn them. Again, the spirit of the game.
And today I still believe in that. I believe you need to warn them.
You know,
I couldn't do it. If the same thing happened again,
Right.
I'll do the same thing over again.
Right.
I'd warn them.
But I think you suspect somebody in parachute for that. Some guy.
parachute rule is,
Yeah.
you know, if you white chop with somebody, you can get suspended. And if your team wins, again, you replay. But if you lose, you don't replay.
Right.
And the captain can get suspended too. Because we don't encourage it.
Don't encourage it. No, man.
Nah, but it's supposed to at least
Give
one.
up. And that's how I grew up.
one-
I remember playing youth cricket with Melbourne, and we played a game. I think it was up in Golden Spring, if I remember right. And you was a youngster, you put on your whites for the first time and thing. And this guy was advanced. And I understand, you know, but I was just brought up. You play the game, spirit of the
Right,
game,
right.
and it's not something you do because you hear big people talking about it.
Right.
And I come to bowl and he was out there, and I stopped and I warned him.
Right.
And the club was just so happy. Because as a youngster, I was innocent.
Right.
But it's just by hearing conversations,
Yeah,
you know that
yeah.
it's not the right thing to do. And that's not how I was brought up. And to this day, I couldn't do it unless I wanted. I couldn't. And if the same thing was happening again, I know it cost us some skills in the
Right,
World
right.
Cup, but I couldn't do it.
It doesn't matter, man.
Couldn't do it. In the spirit of the game, I just
Spirit of the
couldn't do
game,
it.
you know what I mean? That's my policy too. I don't,
couldn't do it.
at least warn the guy, man.
And if you see the battle, if it's somebody you know who does it, you can warn them before.
Exactly.
Right.
Because that's how we rule
Because I
it,
did
you
it to
know.
Dean Jones. I remember telling Dean Jones, I said, Dean, you're trying to get on the 2 for us. No, slow down. Oh, big man. I said, Dean, I warn you. I know. And he could say that he slowed
He
down.
said
Because you
that,
have
right.
some batsmen who want to
Yeah,
take off
yeah,
three, they're
yeah.
fine.
Right.
And some batsmen do it without knowing. So you get a bit of that mind that, so you get a benefit of the doubt. But if you pick up on it as a
Right.
bowler, you're looking ahead, you're looking at jump start.
Yeah.
There's ways and means of going about it. And you can say, tell this man ceiling cleaner so
Right.
that he hears on the umpire.
Right here.
Now, if you do that kind of thing and
Right.
it continues,
Yeah.
then fine.
Right.
'Cause you, at least you give
You
him
don't want to warn him, right.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you know, in our parachute cricket, if that happens, you warn him, the batsman. But in you consult the captain and the other umpire. Tell him, there's a warning out here
Yeah.
for people leaving the crease too early. So warn the batsman before they come.
Yeah.
Tell them.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You can.
So they know they don't. They get no advantage by doing that when they come out again. So we warn everybody early.
Early.
Right.
You can do that.
You know, because you don't want them to continue that practice.
Yeah.
But the first time, give a warning.
No, you have to give that one. I believe in
Give a
that.
warning. In the spirit of the game.
I believe in that.
It doesn't matter if you get. Look, when I started coaching combine school first, we were playing a match at St. John's Grounds. I mentioned it I think last week or week before. We played it the last week, fast the Lewis guy.
Right.
And somebody called me to the back of the pavilion and I was talking and I said they're celebrating the wicket. Well, I said, Atto, this prolific batsman. I said, so how you got out? He said, Whitechapel. I said, Whitechapel? So he said, Captain, there you go, come back, buddy, because we're not playing in Whitechapel. That's why I come back. Our young guys come to learn the ball to these great batsmen so they can learn the ball. And when they out him, Cart and LBW, you feel good.
Yeah.
Not no Whitechapel.
No Whitechapel, no.
Bowling out, they put some bat on your first.
Yep.
That's how you can learn the ball.
You
So,
can
you
learn
know.
the ball. Yep.
Eh?
Yep.
Good. Just like my bowlers are my batsmen. They must learn the bad good bowlers.
Agreed.
So when you can play against, like I used to tell them, look, you come up against this Winston and Ambus and the guys, try your best not to get out. You don't want to out you.
No.
That's your challenge.
That's your challenge.
Okay, you can't bang them balls, you know.
No.
Your challenge is not nobody going to get you out. If you can do that, you know you're doing well.
Yep.
You're doing well. Because next 2 years, you know, you improve when you stroke play and you get stronger, you get score. So once, the bowling is still very good, you know. You might let it bang them both, but when you beat other lesser bowlers, hey, you get a big total.
Cash in.
Yeah.
So you must learn, you must play the game
Play the
fair.
game fair. You gotta play the game fair.
I love that.
But tell me something though. I can jump into his job now.
Yeah, man.
And bang him out.
Bang him both now. We can bang him for some more.
Okay, how is his journey so far as women's coach? How's his journey so far as the woman head coach?
The journey has been good. I mean, it's been okay. We just completed a series against New Zealand where
Right.
we lost 4-1, but the results the 4-1 is, to me, is not a true telling of how close the series was.
Right.
Almost every game went to the last over.
Right.
But it was a low scoring series, so
Right.
work to be done to try to get some consistency and think about. We lost a number of players.
Right.
DeAndre retired, Campbell was out injured, Casey and Knight did the surgery, and then Stefani, who started the series.
Right.
After the third ODI, she had to retire her after making 50. Well,
Right.
while she was batting, and we were out without her for the rest of that series, and then she might be out a little bit longer as well. Based on
And some young lady from Trinidad, I think she took a break on her too.
and Anissa was
That's right.
Anissa took a break, Mohammed. So she's out of it until March.
Right.
She wanted to take a break indefinitely in March. So we we lost some key players, and then some other seasoned players. I mean, Brittany Cooper wasn't in the setup, lost a bit of form and stuff. So I don't want to say anything. We went into it limited resources, so to speak. Because when you lose so many people injured, so I was personally pleased with the fight that they showed on the field in every game. That was a big plus, a big takeaway for me. We had a couple of soft dismissals that we're trying to, don't give it away. And so there's a fair amount of work to be done. But in terms of how we competed after losing those players, and as I said, the 4-1 margin to me didn't show a true reflection of how close that series was. And we lost a game in the Super Over that probably should not have gone to the Super Over.
Right.
I don't want to say inexperience, but it's just learning how to cross a line and closing out games. Being in those positions, we probably have not been in those close games position before, and we've lost more than we have won in them. But the key thing is that we had a couple of players who would have played the complete series for the first time ever. Someone like a Gajnabi who came in, played the 3 T20s and the 5 T20s and the 3 ODIs, played the complete series. So the experience we're hoping that you'll have gathered and gained from that would be invaluable. All right. I mentioned her because she's been around the system for quite some time and never played that many games. Sherry-Ann Fraser came in and played 3 of the 5 T20s. First time she probably played 3 games on the track. So we're trying to blood and expose them as much as we can so that they gain that experience. And we're in camp now, doing a bit of work and a few stuff. And Coach Samuels and Coach Caldermore really working very well with them. We have a plan to try to get them as much base as is possible so that they can learn and know what the expectations are. As I said, the pool is a little bit thin, so that is the challenge.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, and the other thing now is that we have a number of injuries in that series. I mentioned Stefani, who thing. The new appointed vice captain, Shakira Selman, damaged her finger, so she missed the last couple of games.
Right.
Chanel Henry was having a decent tournament because of delayed concussion. Missed the last 2 games. Campbell, as I said, was out injured. Kai Shona picked up an injury in the last game that kept her out of this camp. And that is one of the bigger challenges we have. Connell is carrying a slight injury back into this camp. So we have a number of players on the injured list. So when you have those amount of injury in such a small group of players, it's not easy.
Sound like you're running a Mount St. John there, man.
So I'm hoping that after the end of this camp and everybody goes home, recharge and refresh.
Recover.
When we regroup again at the end of November, towards the back end of November, no injuries.
But like I said
Fingers
earlier, this gives opportunities for all the players to get the experience. And that's important.
That is important. That is important. And that's why when I started, I said the one little regret I have is that the under 19 is working close with the same time with the World Cup, so we can't even get to look at some of those players because I believe in looking at some youngsters at every given opportunity and giving them that experience and exposure. So we had 2 youngsters in the system from I was involved with it in Xavier James and Janela Glasgow. They're involved with the under 19 World Cup. So, but there are 2 players that you see and you know that they have something. So I'm hoping that they go to the World Cup and do well. And those are players that you will be looking to get into your system, along with others that is out there that we probably haven't had a chance to bring into our systems yet. But I went to look at a couple of the games in Trinidad, and there's probably 5, 6, about 7 of them that I'm saying that as soon as we can get them into the system, we can start somewhere.
They have a nice young seamer from Nevis. I think she might be in the setup for the Under 19 World Cup side. I think she's named Carson or something like that. Her last name is or something, I think, if I'm mistaken. But sent me a clip the other night and I saw it. Yeah, she looked pretty.
So she's in.
Yeah, she's skill set and stuff. Look how she won in and stuff. I'm impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her name?
But I'll have to get the name of Bouncing, but he sent me a clip the other night.
But why him sending you a clip and don't send me? I don't understand. There's somebody I was with, his team came and played against the girls in camp one year and he brought some under 15 boy. It was a very good game. And we were talking about exposure, seeing people, and I was saying that youngster looked promising and he was telling me about the girl, you know?
Yeah, he said me a clip of the girl looked nice.
Ideas. I'm disappointed he hadn't sent me that clip.
I'm sure you're listening, so I'll show you.
I'm going to have to get I'll give him one half a shot.
Well, she's out. But tell me something though, would you say that since you take over the team, you see the team look more competitive now than in the past? What do you say? How you agree?
We've been pretty competitive, and I'm very happy for that. I mean, we started during COVID, didn't have much cricket, and I think limited amount of games up until the World Cup, and we went to the qualifiers, got through that, but the pandemic, that tournament was cut short, so we didn't play as much game as we were hoping for.
Right.
Yeah, I remember
We went back to South Africa and had a mini tour just before the World Cup. So I think the preparation for that was nice and good. And I think we're one of the few teams that have gone to qualifiers and then make it to a semi-final.
Right.
So I think the girls really played well and were much deserving of being there. And as I said, the competition, they really competed whenever we got on the field to play. And in the last series, what they did on the field, I was really, really pleased with that. But there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Right. In terms of Haley Matthew, how she fit into the skipper role? How you find she fit into the skipper role?
It was her first series, so
right.
I think she did as well as we expected her to
right.
do. She's going to grow and get better in it as she goes on with the experience. She had the full support that everybody was involved with, the coaching staff and the players on the field of play. And it's just for us to give her good guidance and allow her to sort of express herself from time to time, but be pretty vigilant to make sure that we're giving her the right support and that she's going about it the way that is only going to improve her and the team.
What about the star batsman Datin?
She's retired.
She was there?
Yeah, she retired.
How old is she?
Not old enough to retire.
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought she would play until the World Cup. As I even said it to her, I said, why don't you play up until the World Cup? But she said she had enough and she, it's a tough decision with her, so you gotta respect those decisions when they come.
Yeah, she was one of the star players.
Yeah, that's why I say we lose. I mean, people say, no, you're gonna replace her. Yeah, it's difficult to replace Leandra Datin, batting, bowling, fielding.
Yeah.
She was a complete cricketer, so yeah.
So, who are some players you're looking for to fill? Well, I can't fill those shoes there, but in terms of taking West Indies cricket back to failure, I say back to competitive nature we have seen over the years with Deandra and Taylor and stuff like that.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to call
no, man, you spoke about it, but I'm saying that we now have to start to look to rebuild and stuff. So we have someone like a Gajnabi who names are called and a Sherian Fraser. These are youngsters who want to sort of step up to the plate. Ramarako has played a couple of games since Anissa took the break. She's more or less been in that role. They have a Grim and out of Guyana. So there's a fair amount of youngsters, Amanda Mangru, that being in camps and the exposure, you're hoping that they'll jump for it. And Rashada will then go to Jamaica. I was really impressed with her approach in the last series in terms of batting, and she shows that she came back with the experience and the exposure. We can think. And I'm just calling the names of the newer ones who have not.
You're not calling anyone here, There are a girl named Knight. I love to see that.
I was going to say the reason why they haven't called the Knight sisters because they've been around for some time.
Okay.
The Kai Shon and Kai Shon, they two of them came back.
Right.
They just two but they have been around with like the Stefani and if you're gonna call those names, but they have been around for a bit. So that's why I'm calling the newer kids on the block now for them to step up to the plate.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of,
and you have one girl here that has always been injured, but I think she has some of it.
Who's she?
Shanisha Hector.
She has been injured?
Well, I was going to ask about her, but I was waiting for her at the back end. But since you drop her name, in terms of Hector though, she like an Ocean Summers for me. They need to take personal responsibility. As you can much want this for a player, but a player don't want it for his or herself. based on the year can look at it, that's basically tied. Because you can talk and preach from now till that kingdom come. And if they don't decide to do what they need to do to get there, it doesn't make any sense.
Good point.
And that's
No, that's been answered.
So,
Good point.
I want to answer you guys. Something's changed to me. So what kind of injury she has comes up with?
She had knee the last time, and
she got injured. I was talking about with Robbie. Robbie was by me yesterday. We spent about an hour talking, and he told me she went to play football and got injured from a football game. So she had to get damaged. Yeah, she got damaged.
Play football again.
Good news now is that I had a conversation with Winston Benjamin, and he says she has come and he's doing some work with her.
I saw there.
Yeah. So once and I said to him, I'm very happy to hear that. I told her, I says, I'm very happy to hear that you're with Winston. You in good hands, but you have to do some work yourself as well.
Right.
The one thing I said to her is that you gotta get fit and strong.
And she put on exercise too.
Yeah, do some
She
core
put on
work.
exercise.
Yeah, so that way
Yes,
to shed that, and, you know.
Yeah.
So once you continue on that line, I mean, but she has potential.
Yeah, good. When I asked you the question ago, my father's bowlers usually get injured. They get so much hard work. One hill is one
Right,
beach,
Yep.
swim, gym.
And maybe just do sit-ups at the back and with hold 5
Sometimes I get
minutes
the
and all kind of
400
stuff.
fire non-stop sit-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. So that's why I asked you, how come you? I don't know what this injury thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go to the gym, do swimming,
Swimming,
run in the water.
Well, I don't know because you're from the same village with Nino, Henry.
Yeah.
But he was injured also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if is that what happened.
But I know bouncing Robbie from the same village.
Yeah, because not the ground that you practice at is not far from ground. Both
No.
of them, yeah.
You know, you know what I mean? So I don't understand why this injury thing.
Right.
Like they're not taking this person responsible for the fitness.
Yeah, boy.
But in
It's
terms of
important.
as head coach, look, you mentioned Corey Carmore, you mentioned Robert Samuel, my good friend who I crossed over at time youth cricket. How do you assess these coaches? Make sure they're doing a good job that you're pleased with. You assess them?
Yeah, by communicating with them and
Right.
giving advice on what we need to get done and listen to what they think needs to be
Right.
done as well. So it's a two-way. I mean, Robert is in charge of looking after the batters.
Right.
We have discussions and whatever he thinks that he needs to get done to help improve, and I give him full support with that. Similar to Corey, but I probably spend a little bit more time, on the board as well.
Right.
Because I don't want to say it's my expertise, but as someone who usually thinks, if I see something, I'll go with the Corey. and say,
I'm not being mad as all mine. Like, one man that take 5 or test wickets.
I said the
What
Corey.
we expect?
I like what I said there or what you think about this. I'm bouncing ideas off them, but I mean, and you.
That's what you have to be. That's what you have to be.
Yeah, man, and you come back to me and say, I mean,
If we don't want to say so, but that's your expertise.
Yeah, you obviously 5 or test wicket first fast bowler to do that. Of course, you're an expert. That goes without saying.
I hear you. Yeah, but it's been good. Well, we communicate and have a chat as to
Right.
how we can help the athletes to develop and get better. And reflecting back on the last series, there's a lot of stuff that we need to do. And the minute we get back into camp, after this camp is finished, we're going to have to go down to brass tacks and really be serious about what we have to do, how we're going
Right.
to get it done, and come up with some plans.
Right.
So when is the next tournament?
England is coming to the Caribbean. They are due to arrive sometime at the end of November. I think the first game is about the 3rd or 4th of December. Could be here or Barbados. But the series is going to be played supposed to be played between here and Barbados. So I think it starts here and ends in Barbados.
What test cricket? What?
No, just 50 over T20.
50 over T20.
I would love to get these girls playing test cricket at once at some point in time. It would be nice to see them batting for 3 days.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 3-day test. To go out there and just put on the whites and spend days on the field batting them
Yeah,
ball.
that's important.
But that's what's going to help them to improve and get better. So I would love to see that.
I heard you talk earlier about the pool to choose from. But to get a pool to choose from, for me, I think you as a head coach, because you're the man in charge, as you know. If you don't know, you run women's cricket in the Caribbean. So you should have a plan that you send to Cricket West Indies, have a discussion with them in terms of getting scouts throughout the islands to identify talents.
I've done that. I've said it to them in a different format. I
Right.
don't want to have scouts. I want to go and see them myself. Because sometimes we get favoritism with the scouts.
But you can't see it.
No, you can't. But you can travel there and see you can.
So you go still go out to St. Kitts Dominic.
I don't mind going. I don't say every single one, but you have scouts, but you also get video footage.
Woodley, I was so happy to hear you say that.
No, because I've gone somewhere where one person recommend 9 person, and they all are 9 from his school.
Oh, it's
Give me something to look at, or to say, if you have an independent scout, it doesn't have to be me.
Right.
But I'm not going to say appoint Earl for Antigua. And then Earl, and sometimes it might be innocent, you might only know these 9.
Right,
and bring
right.
them come, and there might be another 5 over that is
Right,
just as good or even better. But because you don't know, then you have to bring them in the
Right,
system.
right.
But if you have a system, and that's why I go back to, if they're been played in school or in club, more people will see them.
Right.
And so to me, that would be a fairer system to say, well, they have club cricket and these are the ones who are doing well. Let's bring them in a camp, or let's have a look at some of these. And
Like I was saying earlier, Coach, I'm so happy you said that. I can tell you why. I said to my friends, I didn't want to be Antigua coach, because I don't want the selectors pick nobody for me. I want the players I want. So when they fail, they can get rid of me.
yeah.
Okay, I remember the first time I picked a poetry team, when I asked the guys, because I was still playing. I see some guys that want, how they make ones? So, they bring out the guys, you see the school book, they're 100 and something, but like most of the ones got to slips.
Okay.
So I had to change up the whole team, bring some guys who weren't selected and so in the squad. So I'm saying to you, you want to see them for yourself.
You want to see them for yourself.
You want to assess them for yourself. So look, you're comfortable with the guys, the people you have.
I'm prepared to travel around and have
Right.
a look. You're not going to be able to go to every territory, but
Right.
if I am going to be involved, if you're looking long term,
Right.
then yeah, send me to Dominica, let me see what they have down there. Send me to St. Kitts and Nevis, send me, the Trinidad and them places again you scout because they're playing regular cricket.
Mr. Walsh, let me ask you a question. Do they play cricket, women cricket in St. Kitts and these kind of places? Can say you can buy any recommendation you want,
Yeah.
but you don't have the cricket playing. How are you going to find the players?
So there's a young lady who came from Nevis, she was in the camp recently. You want to make sure she's doing the right thing, or things that you want to go down and see her, see who is around there working with her, to see what type of work she's doing. But you don't want to go to somewhere where there's nobody. But if there's a system in Dominica,
Right.
they have something,
Yep.
you want to go and see. So you can say, well, okay, I went and saw 20 girls, and from the 20 I can get 4 of them.
Maybe I get 2 with that match.
No, yeah, exactly.
You might get
But to me,
But
that's a success story.
But at least you see somewhere they think of potential.
Right. And then hopefully now by that visit, and that's why 20 who came out, and I said, oh boy, the next time I come back, I want to be in the next story.
Because your friend get picked.
Right.
That's a motivation.
generate that interest.
That incentive.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that happens a lot. I was telling early guys all the time. When you go young people, somebody don't want to come, But when their friends make the team, and they tell themselves, they don't be better than he, they want to go play now too, because they think they can make the team too.
Yeah.
So you encourage them to come over because they want to be on the tour.
They want to be on the next trip. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That would say, in our stuff, you have tours every year, perhaps you have tours every year. Incentive for the guys to go and play. And like I said, they go mingle with better guys. Okay, when we went to England 18, I was playing against Jimmy Adams and so up in Durham.
Okay.
Yeah, we played against quite a few Australian guys.
Now
playing
we
test
play
cricket.
Jimmy, we bounce with Jimmy Arnold. We go on a bounce with Jimmy Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember Jimmy Arnold get knocked on
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played against this guy, played for Australia after.
And you saw Marco and all in
they give-
Swansea,
You played against them guys.
backing up on short ball and stuff. And that time, when I can look back and realize how good we were back then, because these guys went up and played international cricket.
We played against quite a few Australian guys who want to play test cricket. In England, the summer, a lot of young Australians go to play in England in the summer.
I know.
I'm glad you know. Let me ask you a question, because you were some big guy in West Indies. So why we can't do that? Get guys out there play in the, some young, I didn't tell our ladies now, talking more than
No.
the guys.
I know, because we used to have, in county cricket, I don't want to over-exaggerate, but we had about 15 or 16 counties at the time, so 16 counties, and we used to have at least 8 professionals in those 8 counties, and then you would have another 30 players in the
league.
leagues, between the Lancashire League and the Durham League, whatever the league is, and that is not happening now. For the league part of it, I'm not sure, but I know for the county setup, when I was still playing, a plan was devised to beat the West Indies, and part of that plan was to have less,
Players come over.
Players.
Oh.
and we had less player playing until
Can I realize?
after we lost
Yeah.
to England. After England beat us, then they got back a few. But ever since then, we have never had more than 1 or maybe 2 players playing. But that was their plan. Back in the days, you had Lara, Hooper, Greenwich, Marshall, Garner, Richards, myself, Baptiste, Mosley, Franklin Severson. That's 10 names I got already.
Yeah.
Play the guys over there playing. Plenty.
Winston Benjamin, Kenny Benjamin, that's 12. George Ferris played.
I think he watching.
Simmons.
He watching this morning.
Merrick was there.
He watching.
Anthony Merrick
was there.
If I was watching, he tell me babysitting his mind, but he was watching.
He's watching.
Yeah.
He's watching now?
Yeah.
I hope you're watching and behaving yourself.
Tell me babysitting.
He has some
his
place,
mind. Yeah, but he was the best.
I wanted to give him a knee because everything.
I think it was Rock and Prods. Let us call it Rock and Prods.
Yeah, it's a
He was the best sound in the play West Indies.
I remember we in the Zimbabwe tour, you know. And if you're watching now, Pycroft has to tell you. I remember, man, we G'd them up against Pycroft and thing.
That was the West Indies B team.
West Indies B team in Zimbabwe. And he bought some bumper that evening. And not just bouncers, because Taddy, some fast bowlers think that bowling fast is just bouncer. Now he bought some very quick delivery and a very quick bouncer.
Right.
PS is not just bowling sharp.
Right.
And when you understand that, true difference. So we had some fun with George in Zimbabwe, and then there's a guy that they brought in at Kent when we played youth cricket. It was me, Merrick, and Ferris.
Right.
On that tour of Siemens. I don't remember what it was about. The three of us was
Right.
the main ingredient, and the three of us had injury. That was I was now recovering from my back.
Right.
Merrick, I think, had back, and
Right.
Ferris had must have back, and but we had Jamaican physio as their husband kept us going by. We went to their house for treatment. I never watched so much football video in my life. I can't remember the couple name now, but they were so good to us. They had like a little den, and every time he was a Brazil fan, so I saw the most of Brazil football in their place. But they looked after us because we never in those days they didn't tour with a physio.
Right.
We had, I don't remember if we had a trainer, we had a manager and a coach. We had Rodell Clark as manager and Seymour Nurse as coach. So we had no physio, no trainer. Roger was captain. And we got through the tour just by these people treating us, and we're playing all the test matches. I'll never forget that. And there a guy he just came from Australia, and he was touted as a big thing. He's going to be the New England opener.
Right.
A guy called Larry Potter. And Mark Bowers went to school on him because Mark Bowers was our bat fielder. I don't know what he tells Ferro. But every time we see Potter coming out, Ferro's change gear, man. Real pace. So as soon as Potter, when he was opening, he went first. Then he went, I think he tried to bat 3 or 4 in a game and they get a start, and as him come, the ball But those were fun times. We enjoyed it. And it was a good learning experience. As I said, those three, Robert Haynes was on that tour, Mark Bowers. I left Lamson in Prague, who died in a car accident. He would have been a mystery man.
Oh, okay.
Shipner in Prague. So a good little setup. Good setup.
But I'll give you a joke about Mark Bowes. Mark Bowes came on my tour 1983, or first New York tour, which was on tour.
Okay.
So we beat up all the teams, you know what I mean? And then the guys just said, look, this anti-parachute team can't come beat up everybody. So what they did, you remember grabbing the waist and so, fast one guy, you know. They figured, kind of guys from Jamaica, and so they play against the parachute team. So we have to beat you guys. Well, tell you what, Richie and Mark opened the batting, and they opened people down 200. And the guy Ulysses Lawrence came down and just tried us. So we go over 200 something from about 40 something over. So I'm bowling for 80 something. The same anti-American so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
man.
yeah, those guys didn't get good farms. But we're playing in Matins, we get accustomed in the Matin now.
Okay.
But first of all, we're struggling a little bit, but after
After
settling
get into it, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, but it was a park near Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Yeah, but when you go there, see more West Indians than anything. Or so I play 4 cricket matches at the same time. But that match was a feature match. So
Everybody come and watch it.
Yeah, but what a great time. But
Yeah.
Berg was the
Let
first.
me ask you a hard question. I want to ask you a hard question. I know you have roots in Antigua now. You slash. We're more Antigua than Jamaica now.
I don't know the language.
Are you a language?
That is not true.
You're more Antigua than Jamaica now. You have roots here. You know? So.
Somebody send you a message.
So, besides your West Indies organized camp, have you done any coaching outside in Antigua?
Not yet. I haven't had any time or a chance to do that.
Oh, okay.
It's something that I thought about and would like to do, but I mean, with COVID, we couldn't do anything outside of
That is true, yeah.
And then all the camps are going. So, like from now until World Cup, we have no break time because, as I said, we go back into camp the 20th well, about the 20th of November. So that'll give you 3 weeks of not free time.
Preparation.
And then once you finish with that, you're going from November non-stop with maybe a week or 4 days off up until the World Cup in March. So there's no break because we have
Work with
England
March.
coming.
Work with March.
Yeah, in South Africa.
Right.
We have England coming, then we go to South Africa for the
Right.
tri-series.
Right.
And then just
World Cup.
stay on for the World Cup.
So what is
But I
this?
would like to organize myself and I'm going to talk
I tell you, so we're going to promise you one of these Saturday morning and come there and see you practice. Maybe get to speak to a couple of your girls, if possible.
if possible, yeah.
If
Well,
possible.
last, you have to seek permission from the boss first.
That's what we're seeking permission.
Oh, that's seeking out.
Yeah,
Oh.
No, it's something I've thought about. It would be nice to be able to set up a structured coaching thing here in Antigua.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah,
Like, give people a shot. Because that was being a follow-up question.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's something I'd like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because with your just sitting by here, just talking to you alone this morning, I learned so much. We just experience how you guys used to play, how you guys used to think of batsman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I think these youngsters, in my opinion, it would be nice to these youngsters.
It would be.
That's the youngsters that's coming up in the system.
Yeah.
And also for our proper West Indies players. Because you guys have a whole heap of knowledge that could
I
pass on.
mean, back in the days, early days, I'm sure you won't mind me saying it, but myself and Robert Samuels used to run a program in Jamaica that was sponsored by Supreme Ventures.
Right.
And from that program, a number of the kids that we work with, Brandon King,
Right.
Rodman Powell, Fabian Allen, just to name a few.
Right.
To me, that was one of the best systems to grow the kids because it was a youth program.
Correct.
What age
I
group you
think,
looking
I
at?
think we had them under 50.
Right.
So we had them from the very, we had a little guy in it, well, big now, but Lewis was, we used to call him Little 10.
Right.
Junior Bennett was the other person with us as coach. And then we would go, wherever we go, we went all around Jamaica.
Right.
So we would go to Westmoreland side, we pick up a Cleveland Davison. Anywhere there's another coach that we can work with, we would pick them up along with us. And to me, that program was a success because of the amount of cricket that it breathed through, but not only that, we were spreading cricket to all the territories. And that was the right age to capture them at that under
Right.
15. And to this day, like when I was at the Rodman, you know, so boy, I
Right.
remember where it started. They appreciate it.
Right,
yeah.
Honestly, and that to me was one of the better things that was done in Jamaica at that time. And I'd say it was having someone like Robert who to look, he was like the
Father
headmaster
figure.
for them, was the father figure. I was still traveling around and stuff.
Right.
But once the cricket started, and I'm in Jamaica. I was still a selector, I think at some time. We would go, you look after the batting, I look after the bowling. But he was the father figure. We had camp and then we would pick the best of the best and bring them into play over like a weekend.
I gotta go there to tell you why. That is so important. You have an opportunity to go all over Jamaica. I had that opportunity with Viv Richards.
Yeah.
That's how we discovered Kenneth Benjamin. He had a British Airways camp.
Ah.
And we went down Antigua, different schools and the community. And they were discovering Kenneth Benjamin. That day, you seen in Capel Dev. You guys were Capel Dev at the time.
I just be taking big batsman.
And all around there. So, if you get the opportunity to go all around Jamaica and invite all the young, you know.
Yeah. But that's what we did.
You see some talent.
You see some talent. Because not everybody made it, but we saw some good talent, decent
Yeah.
talent. And I mean, some of the names I call, they're playing now for West Indies, and a lot of them have played for Jamaica as well. That probably names that hasn't been called.
I call a good coach that in the setup there who think should have made West Indies side. The guy Davison, Cleveland Davison. He was tough cookie.
He was tough cookie.
Yeah, he was good.
Solid
Yeah.
fighter.
Yeah, tough cookie. He is, I remember the name. Davison, tough cookie. But-
Davison, we had a guy, we had Odelma Peters whenever he's in Jamaica. But what we try to do is wherever we're going, if you have a local coach, it's exposure, we get the local knowledge
Yeah.
and stuff. But what we did then is for the select, and that's where the first time I realized the selection, you have to be more involved in it. He would call someone and says, we're coming down to your neck of the woods, we need 15 or 20 cricketers we're going to coach for the weekend. 'Cause all of the coaching was done over the weekend.
Right.
And we went to one place and everybody was from one school. And Robert and I looked at each other and said, no, this is
Something wrong.
So we made a call, and the next day another 15 or 20 turn up was from different areas in the neck of the woods. And we said we'd never do it again. We would have someone or get feelers or just get a number of people to give us some names. And then,
Go from there.
yeah. Because possible favoritism, but you know what I mean? You can't tell me all the favorites don't want.
True.
Not in a parish. So
Right.
we got that sorted and yeah.
But my favorite Jamaican player in the 60s was Pinnock.
Renford Pinnock. Yeah.
I-
The best person I've ever driven behind. The man indicate when he's going out a pothole. You know. Bless his soul. Pinnock was a character.
Yeah.
Top character. They used to keep it crackers in the glove sometimes. Yeah, man. And you hear the noise and the umpire might put the thing there. But Pinnock was a character. He was a character.
My friend was Mark Lita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Neats.
Mark Neat. He's the
Yeah.
president of our club now.
Yeah, Neats
Yeah.
was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man,
Mark and I played a lot together.
But then Pinnock was a fun kind of guy.
Yeah. But Pinnock was a fun kind of guy.
And I remember he had a fast ball many years ago named Cohen.
Rodolph Cohen.
He was a Cohen guy. I remember, so once you're a young guy, recreation grounds, come and see them play. But Cohen was pretty quickish too.
Cohen had some pace, yeah.
Yeah, he was really, but I played against the famous Youth and Dow.
Mr. Biddle Bob. Yeah, that was it. He played for Kenny, Jamaica, West Indies. Pace, he had some pace.
Yeah, he had a spell here too, and he had a father fans in Antigua.
Yeah.
You did
because
well
of
at the
pace. I
fans.
think he had fans in Barbados because finding Antigua and Barbados, once you have raw pace,
People love you.
People love
The
you.
fans love you.
I just have 3 more questions. In terms of Wesley's cricket, women's cricket actually, where you like to see the cricket next 2 to 5 years?
we would like to see the cricket.
Yeah, Wesley women's cricket next 2 to 5 years.
Well, I'd like to see us in the top 4
Right.
in the next 2 to 5 years, which means we would have had a fair amount of development done
Right.
and a wider pool to choose from, and players being a lot more consistent.
Right.
I think consistency is what is missing us. And I say that, I like when we get to 40s and 50s, but I like us to carry on, go on and think, but none of that. But don't just give me 150 a tour.
Right. Be
Let's-
more consistent.
Yeah. Let's put up the numbers,
Right.
compete. And the only way we're going to get that done is if you have people pushing them. So like, if you get a 30, you might still get dropped. The other person above you get 50,
Right.
so 30 might not be good enough
Right.
anymore. At the moment, because of what we have, that so
Yeah.
well, have players pushing more competitive.
Right. 'Cause when I would look at the women's team, the men's team, I don't think we lack talent. It's the mental side of our game that's keep helping us. That's just me looking from a distance.
Yeah.
But I see, I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I don't think the preparation, then they play enough 4-day long cricket. Because nice instead of mental stuff. If you don't
Yeah.
play long cricket,
Right.
you're like batting long, you're
Right.
thinking long, you're concentrating for long.
Right.
And that's why I go back to say if we can get the clubs or if something can happen locally, whether it be at the club level or if it's at the regional level, where you start playing. I mean, yeah, we know that we're playing competitive T20 and 50 overs, you want to maintain that. But that somewhere along the line we need to have them playing, whether it be a 1 day, just play for 1 day like they do in the leagues,
Right.
where you can bat and you declare when you want if you
Right.
don't lose your wicket, so that they'll be able to do things longer. And if we can get that done, I think it would be good for them to develop, to bat long, to bowl.
And skill sets will improve.
Skill set will improve.
Immensely.
So if that can be done across the region at all club level. And I'll draft back on Jamaica because I know most of the clubs.
That's
there.
good.
You have Lucas, Melbourne, Kensington, Kingston, the JDF, Police in the city. That's like about 6 clubs. Then you have St. Catherine, and then you have all of the parish clubs, the Westmoreland, St. Anne's, Portland. We have 14 parishes. Now if we can get 10 club team playing ladies cricket, because we might not have enough, or even 8, but the combine
Yeah.
to start with, and you have 8 teams playing. If it's every week and after a period or every other, whatever it is, that they practice and they play. They play if it's just 1 day you're giving them, let them start the match at 10 o'clock and finish at 5. You bat for as long as you declare it, you don't get bowled out. Alright? But you have points. So if I bat,
You have points.
if it's 100 over in the day, or 110, and I good enough to bat 70, I can bat 70 and give you 50. If you still get my score, then fine. But at least we get, you have that. It's not the mindset of 20 over in the game is over, 50. You bat longer.
Right.
So if I can bat, you might go on a little 80 or 90 at 70 over the skipper say I want to get 100, so I can give you 10 more overs. That's fine, because it's helping you to develop that skills. And
Right.
you have a short time to bowl them out that your attack is good enough. And
Correct.
but at least you learn something.
Right.
You work.
With Antigua, we played a 2-day cricket in Antigua.
Yeah.
We played a 2-day cricket in Antigua, started 11 o'clock,
Right.
Saturday, Sunday. So
And
we played like that.
And that's what we used to play home in Jamaica for the Senior Cup. We used to start, I think remember it was 10 or 11, but it's 2 days, so you played over 2 days. First innings points, you get 3, and if you can beat that team out, you get 5 points. But then some teams will want to bat the whole the first day. And put pressure on you if you can't get them score.
And I can't name it.
Bat the first day.
I tell team, toss it up, I say, put your eyes on the bat. Yeah, they tell you the bat at 10:30. You say that, I want to bat this in the bat at 10:30. Because if you wait to ask, the bat, if you wait to ask the bat.
When you do it, put it in the bat, they don't want to
Don't
bat.
want that.
Right, so we bat in until maybe last hour to go.
Yeah.
And then declare.
And then they go.
Give us a batting.
Say that day 2 days. But tell me something, how would you ask this question to the president a couple weeks ago, I started asking now that too. How would you assess your performance today so far?
The team, I mean.
You assess your performance, how you say, how you rate yourself?
No, I think with the team as well, I think the coaching staff are going to do really good what we have.
Right.
I think we have a lot of successes. There's still a fair amount of work to do, so it's nothing to toot on. We have a lot of work still to be done. I think based on where we had them and they're going now, we're going to keep with that. Unfortunately, we lost a player that we didn't expect to lose in that period of time in terms of retirement from Mandela. And he's still taking a break, Steph getting injured, Campbell getting injured, the Knight sisters got injured. So we have a fair amount of injury that, form is not something that you think, but the injuries are the ones that if it didn't have those injuries there. And we have everybody playing against New Zealand. I think we have probably a different outcome this year. But at the same time, there's giving some young to want to take an opportunity. And we have to now try to blend the youngsters that we have with the experience that we have. Still not sure what's going to happen with Steph. That's it. But the other thing you have to start planning. You don't have her for the England series. It's going to be a big void. Someone else to walk with it. So preparing for that and just trying to mold that. These are all 7-6 batters or 7-set batters or 7-6, and so everybody know what they have to do and know in that role. So that's what we're trying to create. But for me, as a person in the hot seat, I would like us to see a lot more consistency in all all facets. There's big improvements in every year so far, but we want to have a little more consistency.
And my final question to you, because time is upon you, I know you're a busy man.
Yeah.
In terms of our current crop of West Indies fastball, because sitting down with you again and say, I just love talking to you because you have so much knowledge about fastball and stuff. The Australian Thomas, the Azaris, Joseph, the guy from Trinidad, Javon Sales, this guy, I have a young guy from Guyana who I like to see, a red fella, but he's injury prone also. I forgot his name like comes right now, but he have potential. Not Phillips, a guy from Guyana, a red shot guy.
Oh, I think I saw him in there.
Neon Smith or something like that. But I like to see him too.
Yeah.
Those youngsters, what if you get those guys, what you would say to them?
No, it's just, and I said it before, and that some of these youngsters, I don't blame them because I don't think they had anybody to guide them.
Right.
Like I was fortunate enough to have Michael Olden around, Andy Roberts, Joel Garner when I played, and Malcolm Marshall. And to me, those are the best person you can learn from when you just start to play. Now, we need to try and create an environment for these youngsters that they can hear from someone from the past. Not to take over anything, but just to pass on that knowledge. I mean, I remember as a youngster going to England for the first time when Westall and Charlie Griffiths came to give us a lecture. I learned so much about the English condition just by listening to them.
Correct.
You were able to implement it when you get up there and have an idea what's going on.
Right.
So if that can continue and we can pass on information, the more people you can hear from, the more advice you'll get, and it's what you take away from it.
Right.
Not all of us are going to have the answers for what you want to hear.
True.
But if you can pass on that experience and that knowledge, so you can learn from it.
Right.
And the one thing I tell the young fast bowlers that I speak to now is that the 3 main things that you need to maintain and become a fast bowler is you have to have strong legs, strong shoulder, strong core will give you a strong back.
Right.
And if because you're gonna need legs to run into ball.
Correct.
When they say put some back into it, you need to have that.
Yeah.
And if you understand where I'm coming from, once you have those basics in place, and the skill set you can work on it after.
Right.
There's no point having the skill sets and you can't be on the path.
Right.
So the message I've sent to them is that get fit and strong and maintain that. And fit and strong don't mean going to the gym to lift up everything.
True.
You do light weights and repetitions. Yeah. And that's it on the straight and narrow. But get as much advice as you can and then your skill set will take over. And when it comes to the skill set part of it now, I'm not one to say rush to make changes.
Right.
So you look at what the person has, and then you can fine tune to see what's their best asset,
Right.
or you can improve it. And then once that starts to happen, you can then try to say to them, well, have you ever thought about this or thought about that?
You speak like a true coach a while ago.
Yeah.
So, our technician, they say, time is up.
Time was up.
Yeah.
So, great to have you, man. Great to have you. Get you know the studio and pong your board like a bit.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here. And as you said, time moves faster than you think.
I know. It was a really nice discussion. We really learned that today. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate you. Take time out of your schedule to show up on the show.
When you have some time again, if not coming by you, will come by us again.
No problem, man. I promised him that when Kurt is in town, we'll come in. So I'm
I spoke to this man. He told me traveling somewhere.
He's traveling, yeah, but he just don't want to hear than you want. So I didn't tell him I was coming in today. When he told me he's away, I said, yeah, I know you're going to. I can surprise him. You can surprise him and drag him in.
But I must tell you, I must tell you one thing. When they played New Zealand the other day, in the winning stuff, the our cameraman was one of the guys shooting the stuff all over the world. Yeah,
good,
that technician there, he was one of the.
Champion, good man, well done.
So he came here to do some stuff, you know.
Good.
Any final words before I leave?
No, just thanks for having me, and thanks for the support we have had so far for women's cricket.
Right.
We want to keep that going, and for any young budding cricketer out there that want to represent the West Indies, feel free to come and show your talent, showcase your talent, and just keep supporting. And the girls appreciate it, and we just want to try and get better as a team and keep improving. And once we keep improving, then the sky's the limit.
That's true.
So let me ask a quick guy, he just said something a while ago. Is somebody like who really is not well known then, but somebody discovered them in the, let's say in the Perth or Sweets River, I don't want to come and showcase the talent up there, they can just jump in?
Make contacts and we'll have a look. I mean, it's a lot more free now, but when there was COVID, I would say, no, you can't come.
No, I know what you mean.
But now with that, we're prepared to have a look at anybody to see.
Okay, when you asked that question, we saw a nice 14-year-old last week in Liberta.
Yeah, no problem. If we have a look, we can make arrangements and bring in and have a look. And if we like what we see, we plan for them, especially if they're in Antigua, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because we can have people looking at the mic and go down and take a look. And if depends on what the skill set they have, we can make recommendations.
And so she's a very good fielder too.
Yeah. And she put in her blood with Cornwall niece.
Yeah? Okay.
Jimbo and Polo niece.
Okay.
Yeah.
And her grandfather is one of the best batsmen too. One of the centuries.
Cricket in the blood.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So great to have you.
Great to have you.
See you.
Guys, thanks for viewing Sports with Mandela. Have a wonderful